Ah, is this me? I can't tell.
Hey man, what's up? It's me. I have an album review and I have a new phone. This shit's kicking back in gear now, man. So yeah, and I'm here to talk about, well, you clicked on it, you dingus. Enslaved Within Times. It's their new record, 13th record, I believe. And this dropped March 10th. That's today. So if you watch this later, well then, that's when the album came out and you should go buy it by now. So yeah, this is the follow-up to 2012's Retir. I hope I said that right. Which, that album to me is like a fucking masterpiece. It captured my 2012 album of the year. And Enslaved has just had a tremendous career, in my opinion. I feel I haven't listened to every Enslaved album, mostly their back catalog. Records such as Bloodheim or Eld or Moment Scission, like those albums. Like, I've listened to Frost, of course, because that's one of the more popular ones. That's when they were raw black metal. Now they're a little bit more progressive. Well, they are very progressive, and I just feel recently they've been on a roll. Records such as Axioma, Ethica, Odini, always get that, say that fucking 10 times fast, or Vertebrae, Rune, great records, Issa. And I just really like Enslaved style that they have going on now. And I mean, I'm here to say that this album is no different. It really isn't. And this album is so similar to their past, I'd say 3 albums for sure. And just their sound and their just songwriting and everything. But there's some interesting things. I think one thing that Enslaved does great is just create such an atmosphere that I feel no other band really does like they do. It's a very dark atmosphere, one that's just, it's like just a fucking like dark purple haze around you. I don't know why I think of that. But still, when, the first track, Thuria's Dreaming, after the opening verses, with the growled vocals, then it gets to a more simple kind of open guitar. Just that right there just creates such an atmosphere, and it's incredible. 1,000 Years of Pain is another really good one that creates a 1,000 Years of Rain, sideways, is another very good one that creates an atmosphere, Building with Fire, and I just feel that is one of the strongest things that Enslaved does, and they do it mostly, I feel, through their guitars. They use a lot of just ambience with their guitars in the leads and everything, and it sounds fantastic all the time. I think one of the tracks, one of my favorite tracks from Enslaved, period, is Roots of the Mountain, and the ending there with the guitar lead that's just very simple tremolo picking, just stuff like that they do that creates such an atmosphere, and just no other band just makes me feel like they do, in my opinion. Now, one thing that I also really like is in the kind of this is kind of weird to say, because they're not a very sexy band, but they have some very sexy moments sometimes, such as In Times, when it kicks in, that kind of just slow, mid-paced groove that they got going on. I love that type of stuff that they do. Just very simple power chords in a very simple pattern with a very simple beat. It's great, and it's very effective, and I like that they continue to do that on here. 1,000 Years of Rain also brings back stuff from what is that record? Below the Lights, with the track like Havenless, very folky, like like vocals going on. There's a little bit of that going on in 1,000 Years of Rain, which I thought was nice because I feel like they haven't done that in a little while. So it kind of gets back to some older stuff that they did. Nathir Bleeding is probably the strangest, very progressive track on here. I felt that most of these tracks have a good flow to them, except this one was just goofy, and I think I just need to listen to it more, maybe. This one just didn't really seem to grab me, just because I felt like its flow wasn't as strong as some of the other ones. And that could just be my opinion. It's a very strange track, very strange vocally, and all that stuff. Moving on to the vocals, though, they are fantastic. They're as good as they always have. The bassist, his ground vocals are very unique, and they sound just as good on here. I love how it's high pitched. I love his range. I love his variety in here, and it's as good as it always has been the past few albums. But the thing that stands out to me about Enslaved is their clean vocals, one of their strongest suits, and their keyboardist that does the clean vocals, he sounds as good as ever on here. I mean, I really like his clean vocals. The way they come in the very first track, Thuria's Dreaming, I love that type of shit. And they always really know when to use what. They always mix them together great. Roots of the Mountain off of Retir. I love that final chorus when they have both going on. It's incredible. They mix it very well on here. They know how to spice it up. They know, like I said, what to use what where, and it's very, very strong. And they're always super, super catchy. Like I already have the very first track stuck in my head, and it's awesome. I mean, Enslaved songwriting is very good all the time. It just, they very carefully craft all their songs, and it's great. On the guitar side, it's kind of what you expect. Like I said, lots of melody, lots of ambience, solid riffage. And one thing that has always stood out to me about Enslaved is their solos, and I almost wish they did more of them. Their solos are incredibly tight. Every single one of them on this album, and even in their past albums, are incredible. Very, very talented guitar players. So that, and also the drumming really stands out to me. 1,000 Years of Rain is the track that stood out to me the most. Drumming is always just seems so perfect all the time. It's very entertaining to listen to. I just like this album, man. I like its atmosphere. I like its songwriting, and it's catchy, and it's just solid to me. And I don't think it hit me as much because it's so much like their other albums in ways. And I kind of wish they'd maybe spice it up a little bit here, try something new with their next album. But it's a solid Enslaved album. So I'm going to give this album an 8.5 out of 10. It's solid. Pick it up. Listen to it. Thanks for watching and subscribing. And I'll see you later.